incredible fan base.
A lot of people are cheering out there.
We're going to put a seatbelt on you to keep you in the booth.
Breaks a tackle at the 10, angles in, touchdown, and he has dominated this opener tonight.
Back on the saddle here in Murphy Center alongside Tony Haynes, Matt Chazanow with you. And it is a 3-0 start, getting votes in the AP Top 25 poll, getting votes in the coaches poll for whatever that's worth. A quarter of the way through the year. Undefeated, however you get there, 3-0. Pack's undefeated.
I know the fans like being in the top 25, but just stay under the radar for a while longer, right? Keep winning some games, and the top 25 will take care of itself. So it's been pretty impressive. The adjustments at halftime, how NC State has come up back, especially the last 2 weeks against Virginia and Wake Forest, trailing both games at the half. But after halftime in those two games, the Pack has outscored those two teams 38-7.
Wow.
Yeah, and shut Wake Forest out in the second half. Held Virginia, a very potent Virginia offense, as we know, held them only to 7 points in the second half. So they're doing great work at halftime and then coming back in the second half and controlling the game. In fact, if you take a look at all three games right now, NC State is plus 28 in the second half. A very different story compared to last year. You remember we talked about last season, the team struggled to start, then tried to fight back into games, and then had a tough time finishing and getting over the hump, losing 4 one-possession games, one-score games last year. But the script has really flipped so far early this season. That's a good sign.
I send a little itinerary here. We've got a whole game plan, and we were just talking at practice. I need to crumple this because I've buried the lead. The defensive effort against Claiborne. Thursday in Winston-Salem. Damon Claiborne last year had a monster game in Raleigh. He's one of the best running backs in the country. Last year, by the data, he's the fastest player in America. He hit the highest mile-per-hour mark with the strap they wear that tracks the data. And he couldn't go anywhere. And that's now consecutive, 2 out of 3 games. The first game against first game against ECU in the opener, and then against Wake Forest, the run defense has just been incredible.
Yeah, last year Claiborne at Carter Finley Stadium, 136 yards. He dominated the second half, and they kept running the same play to him. Snap after snap. They positioned themselves kind of an unbalanced line with 2 tight ends on the left side, sometimes the right side. It was just a power formation, and the Pack was helpless to stop him last year. Not only is he fast, he's powerful. You can't let him get started. If he gets downfield 5-10 yards, you're going to have a really tough time getting him on the ground. So it was just a great job by the front, the linebackers, the nickels, surrounding him and making sure that he didn't get anything going. And you hold a back like that to less than 3 yards per carry, you're doing a great job up front defensively. And then you force a quarterback who's no more for his running than his passing to finally have to start throwing the football into the fourth quarter. And that's why I thought that field goal in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go that made it a 10-point game really made it difficult for Wake Forest, because at that point they're going to have to abandon the run. They've had a tough time running anyway, and then throw it. That's out of character for them. And I think at that point NC State kind of had the Deacons where they wanted them.
Okay, does that beg the question then? Hollywood Smothers, who statistically leads the ACC in rushing right now, he's 6th in America with 380 rush yards. Is he the best back in the Atlantic Coast Conference right now?
I'll tell you what, he's as good as any I've seen so far. You take his feet, his jump cuts, and then his vision. You combine all of those things, especially the jump cuts and the vision. He just sees things instinctively, and he goes to that spot. He finds a crease. He finds an opening. It reminds me a little bit of Barry Sanders. It was really hard to get a direct shot on Barry Sanders because he was so quick with those cuts. I'm not saying he's going to be Barry Sanders. Don't get me wrong. Barry Sanders, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest runners of all time. But the style reminds me of that a little bit. And now he's running behind an offensive line that seems to be gelling maybe faster than we would have expected. But, boy, have they come a long way from the East Carolina game. Think about it. Pack couldn't run the football against the Pirates. I think allowed 11 TFLs in that game. And that's the one thing Coach Dorn was talking about afterwards. He was happy to win. He said, but we got to find a way to get the running game going. And you look at Coach Touget, the offensive line coach, and Kurt Roper. They have certainly, starting with the second half against Virginia and the entirety of the game at Wake Forest, they have really found a way to get that running game cranked up with back-to-back 200-yard rushing games. And for C.J. Bailey and those receivers, boy, that opens up opportunities for explosive plays. If teams get to the point where they feel like they got to fill up the box, they got to load the box, play more man coverage on those receivers, watch out. Then C.J. Bailey will really be unleashed, and you'll see some explosive plays down the field.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work, so enjoy a Coca-Cola.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time, Sam. Great time to buy.
A Ford F-Series truck.
Take your pick. Gas, all-electric, hybrid, and diesel. With impressive towing capability for any size to-do list. Like building a house.
A two-story brick colonial.
Or hauling that boat to the lake.
What?
That's actually on my to-do list.
Oh.
Now get 0% financing with 0 down, plus a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan on a 2025 Ford F-150 truck, only at your Carolina Ford dealers.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
This segment of Pulse of the Pack is presented by Coca-Cola.
Here we are now with offensive coordinator Kurt Roper as the show continues next to Tony Haynes. Matt Chazanow with you. Coach, thanks so much for letting us put you to work here. With
thanks
the
for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time. Let's go big picture. A softball to start. How has the offense played through 3 games with this 3-0 start?
You know, there's always good and bad in everything that you do. And, you know, to me, the more that you can understand that and your players can understand that and that we just have to go to work each day to get a little bit better, we'll keep growing. And as the season goes on, we all learn, or as coaches, we learn kind of who we are, what we are, and hopefully keep improving as the season goes on as we learn those things about ourselves.
It had been several years since you were a coordinator calling plays. But was it like getting back on a bike?
You know, I do have a lot of experience doing it. I've sat in the seat a lot. You know, it had been 7 years since I've done it, and but I felt pretty natural when I sat down and having to start calling it again. You know, obviously having the scrimmages before and in spring and all those things help. But hopefully as the season goes on, you know, I get it even better.
In those 7 years, what evolved more, you or college football?
Really good question. I think we all have to grow, continue to grow to get better. And football has definitely changed. Hopefully I've changed in some good ways. And I don't know that I'm answering your question, but I think you've got to continue to grow to be successful.
How good has Hollywood Smothers been, and how has his quality running affected play calling?
You know, we've been fortunate to have him on our football team for a while now. And he's definitely a playmaker. He's a guy that can, score from a long way, that can make something out of nothing, that obviously understands what we're trying to accomplish in the run game. And he's got some guys up front that are helping him get that done. But, we're all better coaches with good football players and fortunate to coach him.
C.J. Bailey, 71% completion percentage through the first 3 games. What qualities does he share with the other outstanding quarterbacks that you've coached?
I learned from Cut a long time ago, quarterback needs to be decisive. And C.J. has a lot of great qualities, but he is decisive. He's a guy that has a plan, gets back and makes a decision. And, every throw that a quarterback makes, he's signing that check. He's made the decision to make that throw, and he understands that and has made a lot of good decisions so far.
We talked about C.J. Bailey a lot. We talked with Coach Doran about that quite a bit. But as a play caller, as an offensive coordinator, how fun is it for you to have so many different chess pieces on the board? Hollywood, Duke Scott, now Will Wilson is an option. You've got so many options. It must just kind of be, I've got to imagine, it's got to be a lot of fun. And also gives you just so many choices up there.
Well, I think that's the best thing is, recruiting's the name of the game, and getting good football players is the name of the game. And when you have the players that we have, you don't have to put as much thought into it as where the ball is going, because whoever's in the game, if the ball goes to that guy, good things can happen.
It's an all-out blitz, lofts it over the middle, touchdown! Joe Lee's second touchdown haul of the game.
It's a process of having a new coach with, a bunch of teams that we've played that have new coaches and new players. Unlike this week, it's told the staff it's the 4th game, but it's the first game where we actually get to watch a staff that was all at that school last year, so we can go back and watch every game from last season too. You actually get to do homework and research and have statistics that matter versus watching South Alabama's offense and all these other things. So it's way harder than people understand to put together a game plan when you don't have a lot of film on players and scheme getting ready for a game.
I feel like we haven't talked enough about now the ACC's leading tackler. Sean Brown has 31 stops. We've talked a lot about some guys through the weeks, but how good has Sean Brown been over just last week? How good was he against the Demon Deacons?
Yeah, he's settled in. Last year was his first year playing linebacker, and it took him some time getting used to it. The distance to the line of scrimmage, how fast blocking schemes react, and just the speed of the game in there, his ability to recognize and react to blocking schemes and see things and put himself in a better position as a tackler. He's been great. And that was the best I've seen him play at that position since he's been here. And he's been a standout on special teams too. He's helped us immensely on our punt team.
How impactful is the physicality of the game from the linebacker spot to change things?
Well, playing linebacker is a position that has a lot of skills that they need to have. But they should be intimidating players. They should be big, tough, mean guys that can run and hit. And so when your guys can do that, it helps, because if you're not that way at that position, man, it's going to be a tough day, tough year. And so I'm proud of Sean. Like, his goal going into training camp was to be the best tackler that he's been, and he's gotten better and better. He's tracking the hips the right way of the ball carriers. He's bringing his hips on contact. And there's a nice competition in there between him and Caden on who leads the team in tackles every week.
All right, here's the exclusive list. Aleem McNeil, Alan Holloway, Darian Roseborough, Willie Young, Pharaoh McKeever, your first ACC winner.
Yeah, that was a great play.
And now Isaiah Shirley. Big boy touchdown.
And I love it.
Yeah, and it totally turned that game around. Was that a play that you guys repped a lot in practice? He seemed to have a sense that it might be coming.
Well, it was a screen situation, and we alerted the guys potential screen because of the down and distance. And, you don't rep that the way that he made that play one-handed, know what I mean? But the guys had awareness that they could run a screen or a draw in that situation. And just a great play by Isaiah and a tremendous run. I'm glad he didn't slip and he almost tripped there at like the 10-yard line. That was awesome. He scored, and proud of him, man. That kid's worked so hard and went through a tough year last year. He had a nagging foot injury. really limited him. He worked so hard to get healthy this offseason, and I've always said this, when he starts making plays, he's going to be one of our best leaders too, because he's such a good human being. I mean, he does everything right. He works hard. He treats people right in the community. He's a great teammate, and now he's making plays. And so when you start making plays, your voice grows.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time, Sam. Great time to buy.
A Ford F-Series truck.
Take your pick. Gas, all-electric, hybrid, and diesel. With impressive towing capability for any size to-do list. Like building a house.
A 2-story brick colonial.
Or hauling that boat to the lake.
What?
That's actually on my to-do list.
Now get 0% financing with 0 down, plus a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan on a 2025 Ford F-150 truck, only at your Carolina Ford dealers.
And we are live here at Sports and Social. It is that time of the week, and it's great to be with you. And we have Isaiah Shirley here on headset at Sports and Social, the big man with the interception, the pick six.
ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week.
ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week, the 41-yarder. Let's start with the meat and potatoes of this thing. Let's go back to the play. Walk us through that play. Walk us through what happened from snap to touchdown on the 41-yard pick six, Isaiah Shirley.
Yeah, so it was like we had a normal call on. I was running the play, and then I look over, and I see the quarterback's head turn, and next thing I know, the ball is in my hand, and I'm running. I feel like I'm back in high school playing tight end. See the quarterback come by, had to hit him little jump cut, show off the tight end skills, but that was about it. Almost tripped and stumbled after that. It did a little bit too much for myself, but it was good. Yeah, and then next thing I know, I'm in the end zone, and I wake up on the sideline, kind of thing.
Did you think you might fall down?
No. I was like, I'm not going to fall. Can't fall. So that's why I didn't fall.
You don't want that on tape?
No. I don't know. I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't want to come over here and talk to you guys about that.
So you're rushing the QB, or you're kind of twisting around to go to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And did you see the ball but when it was released? Because I don't think the quarterback could see you when it was released.
Yeah, no. In all honesty, I didn't see the ball necessarily. I saw the quarterback's eyes, but I didn't necessarily know it was a screen necessarily how it was, that tunnel screen. But I saw his eyes, so I was kind of moving that way, and then he just threw the ball, and like I said, it kind of went to I saw it there once it was thrown, obviously, and then caught it, and then but yeah, no. At first, I did not know he was throwing it that way per se. I just saw his eyes look over there.
Chaz and I just watched it, and you were kind of behind Brandon Cleveland at the time when you're trying to pull away from a block. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to hide behind somebody,
that's somebody.
Brandon Cleveland's the guy, right?
Yeah. B. Cleve's a big dude.
So the ball's coming right at you. Are you shocked at this point?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I don't. You don't really think about anything when you can. Like it's in the game. Like your mind is free. Like that's probably like the only part in life where you're like, there's nothing going through your brain. It's just kind of very instinctual. Like you just run. And I'm sure Hollywood could tell you about that. Those guys run the ball all the time. They're not thinking what they're doing. They're just running.
Yeah, Isaiah Shirley, thank you, buddy. Thank you
you.
for
I appreciate you having me on.
absolutely. Thanks for coming by Sports and Social. We'll be back next with Chase Bond, another defensive lineman here for the Pack. You're listening to Wolfpack Football from Learfield.
So what were you thinking when you saw Isaiah get his hands on the football the other day?
So I seen it, and at first I'm like, is that Shirley? Oh, that's Shirley. And then I had my helmet off, and then I was waiting for the quarterback because, like, a pick would have been awesome. But if you scored, it was crazy. So as soon as I was seeing him break the tackle, I don't know where my helmet went. Threw my helmet. I'm running, getting yelled at to get off the field and stuff. It was sweet. It was sweet to see.
Every defensive lineman wants a pick six.
Yeah, that's the dream
you just
right
dream,
there.
right?
Just show off that 40.
Are you kind of jealous, a little envious when you see him get in the end zone with a pick six like that?
The football gods definitely were there for him that play. That's for sure. But hopefully my day will come here soon. You never know what day.
What's your sense of the difficulty level of the? I think the catch is as impressive as the run because you don't see the ball until it's right up on you.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was definitely impressive because he didn't see it until last second, and it was just a natural reaction.
Sticks right in there.
Yeah, right.
Great athleticism.
And I don't know if you guys seen it, but he had it high, tight, and everything.
Yeah, he ran like a tight end.
Yeah,
like
just like a tight end. Yeah.
We are live here at Sports and Social, and we have ourselves Jaden Duke Scott live with us here, running back for the Pack. Let's get right to the nickname. We are playing the Blue Devils. We're going to Durham to take on Duke.
Yes, sir.
What is the derivation of the nickname Duke on Jaden Scott? Where does that come from?
It comes from my mom. Since I was born, I had that nickname, and it used to be like in sports-related things, like they would call me Jaden, but then there started becoming a lot of Jadens, like as I grew up through the sports scene.
A lot of Jadens.
So yes, sir, and we switched to Duke, and probably when I was like 4 or 5, that's kind of when the nickname kind of started sticking, and since then it's just kind of carried up on with me.
And it's not on your driver's license?
No, sir. No, sir.
Does anybody on the team until now actually know that your first name's Jaden?
Honestly, I recently found out, like today, that Sean Brown probably didn't know my name until like today. So that was pretty funny. That was a little funny token.
You are what I would like to call, and Tony I know would agree, a contact runner. You are a physical runner. There was a tackle, I'm doing air quotes for those listening, there was a tackle made on Thursday in Winston-Salem where one of the Demon Deacons will be credited with a stop. He, by far, took the worst of the hit. You put the shoulder into him. Is contact something you seek? Do you like that? Do you almost enjoy it? Because it seems like you relish it. You find some big hits.
Yes, sir. Contact is definitely something that I definitely look towards when I'm running the ball. Just so, like, the next play and the next play, you're going to have to feel me every play. So it's something, like, I know is going to help me further down along the game. And I know I'm a strong individual, so when I can see contact, I do. Just so, like, the opponent knows, like, you got to feel me every play.
Did he grunt?
I don't know.
He seemed like he thought you might run out of bounds, but you're not running out of bounds.
No,
right
sir.
there. No.
And that's something we talk about a lot in our meeting room. Like, we can finish on an opponent. If we can't finish on somebody, we're going to take advantage of that opportunity to run through somebody's face if possible.
Duke Scott, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for putting a headset on. Big thanks to Isaiah Shirley and Chase Bond as well. This is Wolfpack Football from Learfield.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Carolina Ford Dealers. See your Carolina Ford dealer, proud sponsor of NC State Athletics.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time, Sam. Great time to buy.
A Ford F-Series truck.
Take your pick. Gas, all-electric, hybrid, and diesel. With impressive towing capability for any size to-do list. Like building a house.
A two-story brick colonial.
Or hauling that boat to the lake.
What?
That's actually on my to-do list.
Now get 0% financing with 0 down, plus a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan on a 2025 Ford F-150 truck, only at your Carolina Ford dealers.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. so cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
I stand alone with fire and sun, with passion burning in my veins.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work, so enjoy a Coca-Cola.
NC State suffers its first loss of the year, 45-33 on the road here in Durham. The Wolfpack led 20-7, and Duke outscored the Wolfpack 38-13 the rest of the way. First loss of the season. Jeff, just too many mistakes to win tonight, I think. Certainly on the road, probably at home, too. Just too many miscues tonight.
You know, we talked ad nauseum in the pregame about how Duke had played kind of muddy football. They had made mistakes, and NC State had played this clean football with only one turnover, and it was totally opposite tonight. Duke goes on, wins the turnover battle 4-0, and this is a team that was last in the ACC in turnover margin at -6. That they cleaned that up. NC State muddied it up, and that's why you get a result as you did tonight. Plus that span you mentioned, 20-7. They missed the extra point, and then from there, Duke in the next 5 minutes of the first half and the first drive of the second half outscored NC State 21-0.
Yeah.
But yet still, that formula NC State had used in the first 3 games were able to come back. They get an explosive touchdown from Hollywood Smothers, but they couldn't get a way to get off the field defensively, with Mensah connecting on a couple of touchdowns, and then the final blow, the long run that kind of sealed the deal.
This was a game that swung. It was a high-scoring game. But it's
one of those good old-fashioned Duke NC State.
You've seen a couple of these.
I've seen a couple of those shootouts.
It was a high-scoring game, so there were a lot of big plays, but it was a game that swung. For those of you that missed Coach Doran's explanation on the non-offside for Duke, he said we didn't even have a play called. The play called was, we're trying to draw them offside. We're only snapping it if we feel they're offside. Well, obviously the ball got snapped. They felt like Duke was offside. The officials did not throw the flag. C.J. Bailey thought he had a free play. He tried to force it to Justin Jolie. Disaster.
It's a huge momentum play going into halftime, and then they use that momentum on their first drive of the second half to continue that 21-0 run from the first half to the second half that Duke had over NC State. With all that happened on the negative side, you're exactly right. It's 38-33 in the fourth quarter, with Will Wilson scoring his second touchdown. So we can harp on the reasons why they lost, but let's turn our attention to some of the great things that I think happened in this game. And number one was the monster game that Terrell Anderson had.
Career game.
6 catches, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The guy was phenomenal. We saw Hollywood Smothers get his 100 yards again today, 123 yards with a touchdown. CJ did have the 3 picks, but he throws for 364. And we did get to see the Will Wilson Wildcat, or the Willcat, score 2 touchdowns. And then on defense, obviously it was Fordham and it was Brown leading the way. But Trey Thomas had his name called a lot tonight. He was third in tackles for the Wolfpack, number 4 on defense, and they needed that when Kean Sloan went out in the first half. Never was able to come back, and Sebastian Harsh had to sit out the first half. So NC State's 2 pressure guys on defense, neither one were in the game at the end of the first half.